So let's take a moment to look at a unique case with lines when we have a vertical or a horizontal line. So looking at my first line here, that would of course be a vertical line, right? And let's see if we can figure out how we might represent this as an equation. So let's remember that an equation is just basically a rule so that we can figure out if a point is on that line or not, right? So let's look at a few points. Now, looking at these, can you see anything that the points have in common? Well, I'm hoping that what you see is the fact that every single one of these points has a -3 for the x value. And what we're going to say here is that the x is independent of the y, meaning that no matter what, x is equal to -3. And so in this case, if we were to just plug in -3 and then pick any y value, it would end up on this line. So I could have -3 and then pick a y value of -102.5. And I will in fact know that that is on the line. So the easiest way to describe this is of course that no matter what, x has to equal -3. Doesn't even matter what y is. So horizontal lines end up being pretty similar. So we'll do the same thing and look at a few points on that line. Oh, well, in this case, it becomes pretty obvious that the y values are not changing. So similar to what we did in the previous example, we can see here that y is always going to be equal to 4. And so we can pick any x value that we'd like, -3, 5, 7, 102.5, and for all of these, y will simply be 4. So what I always say is if you're not sure if a line should be horizontal or vertical, well then draw it one way or the other. And once you've done that, verify that x or y is not changing and that your equation syncs up with your graph.